Hello again, Cammy Moon. So we're now getting into the parts of Wavemaker that might be considered a little bit more precarious because there's a lot of parts at this point that I will not be using, but that most writers would be using. So what I did to try to make this make more sense for people who write traditionally, I looked up the parts that are required to write a novel. And so one of the things was brainstorming. And generally, I feel like brainstorming is probably going to take place outside of, outside your computer. Like, and you're sitting around thinking, oh, this character should do this and that character should do that. So although I believe you can use this program for that if you really need it to, I'm not really seeing where that's something that is like it's necessary. So the parts that are necessary, like, would be planning. And again, this is something that I'm not going to say I don't plan at all, because I would, but I don't really plan the way I think that if you went to school for this, then you would probably plan in a method or a manner that I don't. So, but I will show you what's in here so you can do this yourself. And again, I'm going to try to keep these short by kind of going through the menu so you can see what parts go with what. So in this one, I want to give you kind of a quick overview about something, however, okay? If you notice on the very front, it has books, mind maps, snowflakes, timeline, grid planners, and cards, okay? The cards are going to apply to all the books that are in this project, all right? If you go across the top, you'll see that there is something called a planning board. The planning board, which is not the same as the grid planner, that also applies to, it's going to apply to each of the projects, but you can't make a planning board. It generates by itself, okay? That's just so you know, okay? I'm not going to show you all this in one video. Like I said, I just want to give you an overview here. The mind maps are going to be separate. The snowflakes are going to be separate. The timelines are going to be separate, but some of these things will connect. And one of the things that connects are your cards. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and and show you one of the features that comes right under the books. And then we'll go back to books in another video so that I can show you how they kind of mesh together if that's what you intend to do, okay? So let's look at a mind map. And I already have one open that says testing, all right? And that was because I didn't really know how to utilize this, because like I said, I don't generally utilize these. So, man, I don't know if I can show you this on this. I do not know if I'll be able to move. Okay, it moved. Yay. Okay, good to know. Let's see. Okay, so this is a mind map, and for those of you who are visual, like people who really need to like see your characters and envision the world building and all that good stuff, this would be helpful for you, just like in some of the other writing programs. So so in this case, I just went ahead and made one of these. So if you go over to the side here, up at the top, there are three options. One, this little thing right here is going to produce, Lordy Morrissey, it's going to produce this little thing that you can write in, okay? And you can write and write and write, and it's kind of like, you just put notes, kinda, okay? So let's say Frost catches a frog, okay? Then you can use this little thing to move this around, all right? The X, of course, will make it go away. This little thing is connected to the other, so it helps you connect it. So I already have one up here that says Frost knows, and then there's this picture that I left up here. So if I wanted to connect this to this one that says Frost Nose, then I would click over here and I get a choice of whether I want a dotted line, a really dotted line, or a straight line. I'll use the straight line. And then I can connect it to this one and see this line appear. So now if I move this around, the line is going to follow so that I know that I'm trying to connect these two things together in my story. It's really cute. I don't really, I don't need it, but at least not for this. I think, I also translate and write games. This would come in handy for games because the routes would need to connect and they can get really out of hand. So this would be great for that. But for novel writing, I don't know. But I'm sure it helps a lot of other people. So skipping over to this part, this is where you would add a picture, okay? And if you want to add a picture, you click on it and then you go to the images that you have uploaded. So if I say, you know, link this image, now that image is going to show up. Now, here's the one negative, is that you really cannot resize the images. So you wind up, if you want your image to be smaller, it's my guess that you're going to have to make it smaller where you're uploading from. Okay, so like you would have to set the image to be a certain size because that's how it's going to load onto this, you know, wherever, onto your mind map. Now, the cool thing is that we'll get into images in the next video so I can show you how I put those up there. This is just to go over the mind map, and you can use a mind map for each of your projects. You can use a mind map for almost anything. As far as I can tell, you could use it to determine, like, you know, so that you can just glance at it and say, oh, I need to get a feel for this scene. And then you draw, you know, you put pictures of the scene, you put notes to let you know what's going on and so forth. So as far as I can tell, that's how that would work. Now I'm going to pop out of this and go back to the project homepage and then pull up the mind maps just to show you that you can make as many of these as you want. So if I want to do one that is strictly for, let's say, cakes history, then I would add that. And then this is going to be a separate entire map that just talks about Cake's timeline or his, you know, the history of how he and Frost met and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's go back to the project name, and that's pretty much what the mind maps do, and that's how they operate. Now, the cool thing is that, you know, this thing is called Wavemaker cards because it's really a card system. Once you learn how to use the cards within it, you'll kind of see how they all kind of function together. So just like I just pulled that up a second ago, where you could see where the pictures were. If you notice, when I clicked on this to add a picture, let me get out of there. Hey, let go. Okay. When I clicked on this to add a picture, notice how it pulled up a whole gallery. You can upload your images here. And again, I'll show you how to do that in another video. But once you've uploaded all these images, then you can just click which one you want to add. And you can use them in multiple places throughout this document, which is the really cool part. Sorry about that. Because it keeps you from having to, you know, run around trying to figure out where you put the pictures. They're all in one spot, and they would be for this project only. So naturally, if you close this project, you go to another project, you're going to have another set of pictures to choose from. So that's something to keep in mind when you're deciding how you want to set this up. For me, I'm setting this up as a trilogy. All of these books have the same characters in them, and each of these books relate to a different part in their lives. So like right now, the picture I have of Frost, which is a guy that has the silvery looking hair, that's a picture of him as a teen. I do have other pictures of him, but you know, which I don't know. As I write this book, if I find it helpful, then I'll load those pictures and then use them for reference. But as far as I can tell right now, given my current writing style, I don't know that I would necessarily need a lot. Now, I do like the idea of being able to load the character themselves, but as far as having like the entire timeline of, you know, a picture of him as a baby and then a picture of him as a retiree, because that's you know, I might need to change the name because this is kind of a full, it's his life, so I don't know. A biography of Frost, I don't know. Anyway, that'll be boring. Anyway, so that's how the mind map works, and you can move those around and utilize it in any space you want to be able to ultimately decide how you want to lay out your book. Now there are more than one way that, like, there's several ways to do that within this program. And I think it's kind of like a broad way. So you've got lots of options when it comes to how you want to see things. Because you can also see pictures in these other sections. You know, I guess to kind of pull that up for you real quick before I end this video and go to another one, I'm going to pull open, okay, this is the planning board. And I told you, you know, each of these sections has a planning board. So when you click on the planning board, it outlines every, like, chapter or each section, like for every folder that you have, it's going to show you at the top what it was called. Okay, and if you want to, you can then click on this thing, which is going to open a card, and you can link an existing card, and you can also add an existing picture, right? So now I'm not going to try that right now because I'm not going to explain the planning board right now, and I haven't really played around enough with it. I don't want to like load a picture and it be too big and then I can't close this folder or something. So this was just, you know, figuring out how to use the mind maps, and it's really easy, so it's not a whole lot to say. So you can kind of play around with it now that you know what the features are and how they work, and see which methods will work best for you. You know, there's something I do want to look at real quick before I close this, and that would be on the card itself, how much, okay, yeah, they don't give you a lot of editing on that. I was wondering about that just now because they do have these really cool features within the book itself, where you can like color code and you can highlight and you can do all kinds of cool stuff, which again, I'll show you guys that in another video. But it doesn't look like you can do that in the mind map. So the mind map really is just a quick, where you can glance at it and see, okay, that's my character. This is what he did. This is his history. You know, whatever timelines and stuff like that. Okay, well, I hope that explains that part of this program. Once again, don't forget to try to, you know, make sure you send something to the guy who made it through his Patreon. And otherwise, you know, it's kind of cool that we're writing these books together. And hopefully for all you broke-ass authors out there who need a free program, you will take advantage of this one. And when I explain the rest of these features, you will thank me, I promise. Talk to you later. Bye.